Alright, let's get this going. How are you doing, guys? We're playing some Enigmatic. We're playing with a bit of a different build tonight. We made some small changes to the build. I'm just trying something a bit new. So regarding the changes, I have added Kenrith might likely be just a fan of, because I'm playing Leyland of Sanctity on the sideboard, in case you're wondering. Alright, that makes sense. So what I have added? I have added Wasteland Strangler because I added Spellbinder and I'm playing mostly on Thin Ice instead of Seal of Fire for that specific reason. I also added a Tight Hollow Scholar, which led me to change the Brain Maggot for a Destiny Spinner. So these were the cards added. The cards cut were Brain Maggot, Spellskite, alongside Fulminator Mage and a Verse of Paradise. So going to the sideboard, I have cut the Veils of Summer, the Veils of Summer and 1 Seal of Fire for 4 Leyland of Sanctity, which is mostly a meta call, and it's a reason I added a 5-drop into the main deck, mostly because it's a 5-drop that it's also a good top deck in the late game and it's great as a mana sink. So regardless, besides that, it's the same list as per usual. So let's get in a few games. I can't believe Principe is already at 11 trophies. I know he's playing Rage and leagues must be pretty fast, but 11 trophies is such a large amount. He must be playing like 6-7 leagues a day, like at minimum. It's been 1 week since season started. Approximately, let's see what's the oldest trophy. It's like less than 10 days since the season started and the guy already has 11. That's more than 1 trophy a day. It's insane. Like, really. It's such an obscene amount of time. I'm taking this over here, and that's perfect. For some reason it's taking a bit longer for the games to be found. I have no idea why, but I find in this, even with the active player number not being that low, it's taking a bit longer than before. Maybe they changed the algorithm, or maybe it's just bad luck, or maybe it's this time I'm playing, because of course being from South America, I'm playing at a different time than people at North. Alright, game 1, let's see how it goes. Balthasar, we're playing Yorion. This is my first game with the new build, so I might screw up like minorly, and I expect to do so, because I have never casted a spellbinder in my life yet. I'm sending down the mountain because I have Abundant Growth and a Spreading Seas, which means I have a double cantrip, and that's likely enough to find my third land and keep playing. I prefer sending that over the Lurrus, as my hand doesn't really have a payoff for either playing enchantments or anything, and Lurrus is a good way to make sure I will have that. That's an amazing draw. Being able to play the Spreading Seas would be much better, but doing this and naming white is likely good enough, as we now have like almost perfect mana. And if I find a land, it's amazing. Perfect. I top deck all my forests, which is one of the main reasons I just love Abundant Growth. Oh, if I had to take a guess, this would be some sort of Esper Control, which would be weird. Yeah, exactly, Esper Control. With Bitter Blossom, that's just spice. That doesn't do much. I think I will cut him off. I will cut him off black, as I think his black interaction is more annoying than his white interaction for us. This was a misplay. Me paying that Spreading Seas like that was a misplay, because this was a really possible top deck. It's not extremely punishing, as I would have named Teferi, like small Teferi, and it would have gotten pushed likely, but it was a misplay. So we just ping there. Also, second misplay was, I made 2 big misplays this game already, just so people know. My first one was, when I fetched this, I should have played Abundant Growth on the second Abundant Growth I played should have been played on the Prismatic Vista. because that would have allowed Lurus to be a threat. I'm not sure it would have been the play right now, as I think placing Shatter in my hand and playing Last Land is better. But if I had played the Prismatic Vista over the Abundant Growth on the Prismatic Vista and then Utopia on my first forest, I could play Lurus Fetch and play an Abundant Growth, which would give me a proactive 3 mana play, which now I completely lack. So yeah, that was a small punt. I don't think it was punishing because the fact I was going to play Yorion now over Lurus likely, because Lurus just dies to anything and was sitting by like a mana leak, and I would likely prefer to be able to double spell the turn I want to go for Lurus, because I am never going to be able to double spell for Yorion. So minor punt, but could end up being punishing in the long term. If my opponent taps down, that's... So if I don't top deck a land, that's devastating now. He probably has like a mana leak if he did that. So I am going for Yorion for a simple reason. I could go for Meddling Mage actually, and just start attacking his... No, I would go for Yorion, I think, but I will get the mana leak. No, I have to do this. This allows me to go Meddling Mage and try to name like Remand, mana leak, which is the most devastating of them, and then play the Image, naming the other one, which will force a removal out of him if he was to counter the... I can actually name Cryptic Command, which leaves Remand as his only solution to this Yorion without a removal spell, and he needs a line drop to stop to play a Cryptic Command against my Yorion. Alright, that's fine, that's not the end of the world. So I'm guessing he has like removal spell plus stuff, but that's fine. That's a world I have to live in. Yeah, push plus Cryptic Command, exactly, he had it. That's fine, it was a possibility sadly. He needed to have the like land plus 1 mana removal spell plus Cryptic Command, but it could happen of course. So next turn I'm trying to go for Lurus plus the Phantasmal Image, naming Cryptic again. Problem is this is starting to speed up, but as long as I can play the Lurus I should be fine. I'm starting to flood quite a bit, sadly. So next turn, now this will be here and it will name Patrick's. I will name Cryptic Command again, I think. No, we will name Path to Exile, as it's his most likely removal for Lurus. I will hold this land drop, and the plan is next turn, and before attack, sacrifice the Silver Scry 2 on upkeep. That was a bad attack. He has a push. Oh, he hasn't. That's fine. So he's hitting me for 4, which means I really need to attack with Lurus. Small Death or Spring Verdict. I'm happy he did not attack before this. He has 1 card in hand, okay. So I need a really good top deck. And that's not it. I'm playing this on here, holding this land, and on a step fetching a Triumph and scrying 2. So I'm fetching a Triumph and scrying 2 and hoping for like a good answer. Eventually I got punished for a misplay on not playing the Abundant Growth on the fetch land, as I would have rather Operation is not good enough, as I would have rather drawn a land and played the Abundant over the Phantasmal Image on that turn. So the scry was meaningless, that's fine. I don't think this is ever resolving, and if it doesn't I'm likely conceding. Maybe our opponent is such a bad spot as we are. Or maybe he just has like a path and it's trying to rush us, to raise us. Yeah, likely that. Oh, it's kind of, yeah, we are not reading that one now. Yeah. So where are we now? We were still going to flood, but it would have been the correct play to do so differently. So I don't really have much side what I want. I just want this and this. Melee Mage is likely not good enough, and I'm not a fan of... Wayland Strangler could be great, so I'm keeping him over an Apparition. Alright, game 2, let's not make any mistakes now. This hand is low, but has interaction and has a Seal of Fire to protect me against a Snapcaster and just play a slow game. Opponent went to 5, we probably win with this hand against a to 5, the Spellbinder probably buys us enough time. Let's see... Spellbinder seems pretty good as long as he doesn't play Bitter Blossom. Him always doing this is pretty annoying, but we have a good play, so are fine. Like if our opponent goes for Bitter Blossom, we can just play Spellbinder, make his hand a lot more clunky, and if he only has one removal spell, we can just go Spellbinder again next turn with the Glass Pool and just start pressuring him up. Alright, he doesn't... That's a few too many lands so far. So we hope for no mana leak, but it's fine, like we're not going to lose to it. Spellbinder resolving is great. If opponent pushes him in response, I'm happy, because if not I have to remove the Fatal Push, so... I hope he just pushes and I can remove one of his counter spells, so it's like extremely clunky for him to play it. That's perfect fine. So we just remove that Kaya, which would have been... So it's a 5 mana play now, and if we top deck a Strangler it just never happens. But him tapping for 5 is a lot more than tapping for 3, because he can never hold up a counter spell in that way. And we're playing the Springseas. That's a good draw, taking into account how our hand is going to be played. I will just do this. This is the hand, no, okay. This is one of the few creatures that him Guiling does not gain him any advantage, so that's great. So I have no idea what his hand is composed of right now. Bitter Blossom is not something I particularly care about. So as per usual, I will attack first, see what happens, and then play the death. Maybe he spends a removal here if he top deck like a mana leak. Him doing nothing is a bit annoying, because I have no info, but still if Springs is in this, maybe that forces a response. That forced nothing, okay, so we're going for this. I think, yeah, and that's, I think, is literally game over for him. If he wants to, he can fully tap down, play the Kaya. Like, I will allow that. I have no reason to just destroy this to stop a Kaya. It's not a play that's relevant enough to force my Fulminator Mage. Chase could be a bit annoying. I want to keep this Fulminator alive for a simple reason. I want to play this Glasspool Mimic on it, which will get me extremely far ahead as I can just double destroy his land, leave him on 3, leave him stranded on mana. Him doing that is perfectly fine. He probably gets rid of Abundant Growth. I guess that's his play. That is dumb, because I can just minus and... but I'm not going to complain. I really need to contribute a bit, that's why I'm doing this, and that's game over. So we better start thinking about game 3, where opponent likely does not mulligan to 5 and gets a clunky draw. We just go Renegade earlier. I'm just doing this because this game is over, like he cannot win from this spot, I think, like in any way, shape or form. So I'm just trying to punish him to do damage. His best play is like an Entwine Kaya's Guile, which I just sack here and I start attacking. I just go Seal of Fire, Mimic, copy this, Seal of Fire, clean his board, keep attacking. Is he entwining Kaya's Guile? Like, that's not a way for him to win, but it's his best play, so makes total sense. Why? So as I said, I'm just going to ping here, cast this, ping here, put your in my hand. In case he plays like Liliana or anything, I'm keeping this in my hand, because that's the only way I ever lose this game, so why risk it? Do this, sacrifice. What's the most valuable thing we can get? It's like this, just Skyclay, get rid of this. So I don't have to deal with a blocker every turn. And that's perfect. Supreme Verdict is completely irrelevant in this specific position. Even with it being his best possible play, it's like, meh. Scatter is decent, I want to have perfect info of his hand. That's something I would like to take. And he's dead in so few turns. Return everything. We got him off double white. We put this in a forest for 2 cards. Sacrifice this, get a kitchen things, so even if he tries... Oh, I told you the kitchen things, that's some. So I'm just doing this then. In case I top deck like an ephemerate, I want to be able to like not give him back a cryptic command. So the synergy between Wasteland Strangler and on Thin Ice is just like stupidly good. Going turn 1 on Thin Ice, turn 2, maybe ramp, turn 3, get one of these running is like enough to win a game. So I'm doing this just because. I'm not playing a single extra card from my hand just because I don't like giving him 3 info of what I'm playing exactly. And that's the only reason I didn't play anything. And just because I want to make sure I win, I'm making this Yorion trigger, getting rid of everything in my board, so he cannot win with a Supreme Verdict top deck. Like he cannot gain extra turns or anything weird. This protects my board, and that's it. And then returning on the end step with a def means he cannot beat it. So I say no to the triggers. I choose a creature, and I see his hand. I say no to the trigger, and I think we have 16 minutes for game 3. That's great. This deck does take a while to win, so it's possible that I have seen a lot of people time out with it. I likely play fast enough, and I got used to like just rushing out, so I don't risk timing out. Like it's a deck that until you get your practice is extremely easy to just accidentally time out without even noticing. So yeah. Sorry, I was just checking if audio was recording semi-correctly. They don't have Sanctity in this deck, in this matchup. Is not. I have seen a lot of people. This is a common misconception. I like to clarify now that I'm with it. If Rhetoric is not good at all against control decks. I don't know. I think most people know that. Like I have seen a lot of people asking like why not add that, and in most cases it ends with you not being able to double spell in a position you need to do so. This hand is mediocrely aggressive. If this was an Utopia Sprawl, I would be really happy with this hit. With how it is, it's just him doing that instead of a Black Source does make it a bit better, because now I can just get a breeding pool, play this. But if he had played like a Black Source and be able to push this, it would be too much tempo and we would have to play from behind the whole game. If he plays Bitter Blossom, we play Spreading Seas. If he passes with Mana Open, we pass with Mana Open with For Omen, with a Tapland. We're always playing a Tapland if this survives. If not, we're most unlikely looking for a forest with this Mysterium Forest. That survived. So that's an amazing draw, but I don't want to walk into a Mana League for no reason. I always like to be able to double spell against these sort of decks when I can allow to do so. If he had 3 mana and he was threatening like Archwave Charm or Vesper Charm or a value play, it would be different. That's extremely tough for us. Like that's the ones he's going to minus here. Alright, so that's really annoying. It's Exile, it's a Planeswalker I have to deal with. I mean, it's not unbeatable, it's just annoying. So, do I want to go on the lock him out Spreading Seas plan? And I think the answer is yes. So I will keep both of these on top and next turn go for a Rallier and Abundant Growth play. So I'm going to educate because I want to start pressuring this thing. I fetched like an idiot. I wanted that Abundant Growth. I didn't get punished, but I really wanted that Abundant Growth. However, getting this here is great because it gives me enough mana to just develop correctly for the rest of the game. Like next turn I can go like triple spell or enigmatic plus Seas, or put Shadow in my hand plus a 3 mana play if necessary. He's attacking my mana, which means this will survive. He probably has like a void. I was willing to trade that. I didn't comment on it, but that was a trade I was willing to make with Utopia Sprawl. Like, him minusing this means I don't have to rush before this sets a way to kill me or anything. So, more likely on attack, I will get... he's likely waiting for my attack, where he will go like Snapcaster plus Opt and Block. That's his best play likely, which would be really annoying, but not something we cannot beat. And we will go Mystery Rain, and we will go Spreading Season here. If he doesn't fetch, we're getting him off black. If he fetches, we're getting him off white. If I didn't have a fetching hand, I would not fetch, but having one makes me just prefer to do so. He doesn't fetching means he likely has, like, this is really bad with our hand. Drawing double clone and only one creature in the game so far is extremely annoying. That's a Kaya's Guile. And that means Getting rid of this will start to get increasingly annoying. So the ideal draw is likely another Renegade Rally or such, actually. Like just a good tempo play. Sorry, I lied. That's the ideal draw. Sorry guys, I was mistaken. Just trying to resolve a theft. Maybe it is a phone or a dispute, but that's great. So now we can play freely. Getting rid of this, of course. So all I need to draw right now is any 2 or 3 mana creature so I can start cloning it with the Teferi down. That is likely good enough to get me extremely far ahead. If not, I will just go like Yorion and place Brainseas and Yorion into my hand, which is not the worst. Him doing that is scary, like 5 mana death would be extreme. Chaos Guile to his own Teferi is fine. It's much more annoying for him than it is for us. Here's looking for a land. Okay. That's incredibly good. That almost locks him out of the game because we can play. I will leave him with black mana, which does nothing because he's never triggering Revolt. Okay, that's really interesting actually. Like I'm playing this, he's getting a white source likely, and we are then punishing him by following it up with. So we're going with this, of course, as our first play. And then I will see how we'll follow it up. If it's a clone, very likely it's a clone because it also comes up the board. If it's getting a blue source, it's likely not a clone. Yeah, most likely I'm cutting him off black. With a white source, it's a clone because I want him to be. I want him to path one of these ones because it's not the end of the world. Like, if he paths one, I get the extra land, then I spreading Seas and go on with my plan. Like, this is fine. He has to, whatever he does, he has to do so as a sorcery, and that's the most annoying part for him. Like, he has to either play Path or Chaos Guile as a sorcery. Maybe he entwines Chaos Guile, and even then it's fine. But we're starting to spend a lot of his resources on this board. And he did nothing. So the question is, so he likely has nothing, so I'm attacking. I'm removing Tef off the board, which is the biggest problem. Instead of killing Kaya, I'm going like 2 and 2. Just in case your guys wondering, he doesn't have blue mana because this doesn't work. This works on layers, which means he has no access to blue mana right now. If you guys are wondering why this was a punt, really small one, but I would have liked to be able to play that things right now, and I'm not able to. Why I'm not playing this image? Because he can -1 the Kalia. Actually no, he can't target it, so maybe I should, but I prefer not overextending into, because I can just go like Kitchen Finks then Phantasmal Image next turn, and that's pretty great. Mouse really locked him out of the game likely. He has to deal with so many sorry, I'm missing the word for it. So many annoying permanents for him. I have no idea what he could have, so I'm going one. I don't think there's any card that gets rid of this right now, so I'm going for the greedy attack, because why not? And then I'm playing this so I can get really far ahead. So I will leave him playing mono blue instead of him having 2 colors of mana. I did not play this just because of them. The reason I didn't play this is because of the Abundant Growth bag, because if I played on one of these, then if I copied the mouse I lost it, so I want to just save it. The punt was not plusing Tef. Likely irrelevant, still a punt. And we still got a win. Great game, happy to have that.